And then in week 8, we'll go into. So how do you pronounce the CHAKRA?
Chakra? Chakra?
Chakra? Yeah. Yeah. So it is actually in Sanskritam, in the language of Sanskritam, we call it chakram. Like it kinds of ends with that, but you are good enough. You didn't say chakra, so I was pretty pleased. So chakram, and so we'll understand what is chakram, that is the energy center, what is it, what role does each chakram play in our health, in our mind, what is their role, and what are the postures that will help us to activate them, to make, because some could be not functioning good, but some could be over, like hyper functioning. So how do you balance them, and how do postures help us in balancing, which postures help us in working on each of those, because each of those energy center works on certain physical organs too. So if something is not working well or you're not feeling confident, then there is one energy center in you which is really not functioning to the optimal level, and that is why you're not feeling confident. So if you can activate that and the postures help you, then you would become more confident. So we'll be, from that angle, we'll be addressing the yoga poses and understanding this, the energetic concept of these. And then disease and its origin. So what does the ancient wisdom say is the cause for disease? What is the root cause and how we can work to eliminate it? Because the modern medicine works more on the symptoms, how to eliminate the symptoms. So here we'll go a little bit deeper. So then we'll also be addressing yoga of dance. So it is one minor stream of yoga. While karma yoga, raja yoga, they are all like major streams, there is one minor stream, it's called natya yoga. So natya means dance. So I also do Indian classical dancing. So, and the goal of that, even she has learned in her younger days. So she's not currently practicing. But so dance is also one tool to get the same results that yoga wants us to get. So dance is one another way, one another stream and one another branch. So we will try to understand the relationship between the two and how to, I mean, you'll actually be doing some of the steps to understand how it impacts your body, how it impacts your brain, how it improves your focus, how much of awareness it demands. So you'll be able to experience that. Of course, here a lot of people do things called yoga dance. Have you ever been to any of those workshops that people call it? I mean, they are very different. They are not doing anything to do with Indian dance, that is for sure. But they have their own versions. I haven't gone to a lot, but the one or two I went to, like it was not at all what I was, like so much so I was wondering what is the connection to yoga itself. Like what are they trying to do here? Or why did they call it yoga dance? Like I left with a confusion. So, but here you can be sure that when we call it yoga of dance, we really are talking to you about the aspect of dance which brings you, which takes you closer to the same ultimate goals of yoga. And we'll work again more of the pranayama, the breathing techniques. And the cause of negative karma in teaching. Actually, I've given that in my website. If you had gone into, it's on the page, that yoga teacher training page. If you kept scrolling down, I had given quite a bit of that, but we'll also go into deeper discussion in this week. Because people would think like teaching yoga is really, it's a good thing, right? It gives you good karma. How can you ever get a negative karma teaching that? So that's where we'll be understanding, like, you know, what things we could do that could mess up with that. And I mean, it's the same thing. Intentions could be good, but if execution is not correct, then, you know, it's still like, I mean, even though unintentionally I touch the fire, I still am going to get burned. Because that's the law of fire. So the dharma of fire is to burn. So it will burn whatever comes in contact with it. I mean, I can't say, oh, this is just my 2-year-old child. The child didn't know that it'll actually burn, you know. It went and touched, sorry, like, you have to burn and then you will learn, oh, next time I shouldn't go. something is glowing, that means it will burn. So you can learn by experience, but still, that's the law. I mean, it cannot say like, oh no, I won't do it. I'll be cool because, like I'll suddenly the heat will turn. It cannot be. So we'll understand more of those things when the topic comes. So yoga teaching, I already told this in the beginning itself. So we'll discuss more. Yoga teaching as responsibility and service. This is again connected to the cause of negative karma. So when you don't take it as your responsibility and don't do what we are supposed to do, because nobody dumped this on you, so that we cannot say like what to do. I was not even prepared for it, but the job was dumped on me, and this is the best I could do, and now you can't blame me for not doing a good job. Because everybody who wants to become a yoga teacher is doing it solely on their own volition, right? Like we want to do it, we do it. So which means we should be willing to take that responsibility upon our shoulders. I mean, it's a big thing. It's not a casual thing. So we will be going into, so in that way it is connected, that previous topic, and we will be discussing more about that in that week. And so the week 9 is the final week, and that is for only the yoga teachers. So this Friday, for that week we will meet and we'll understand a little bit of guiding, assisting, how to assist when somebody is teaching, or how to assist your student, if they are not doing something right, different ways to assist them and to correct them, because some people could correct in a way that it could actually injure you, right? They could force because they think you should be perfect in a posture, like their concept of perfection. So if you're not, then we learn what are the different ways, what to do, what not to do, how to do. And so yoga is a business, because Yoga Alliance wants, like, that is one of the mandatory things. So we'll also understand. So having taken this up, we still need to sustain ourselves, right? Especially if you're deciding to take it up as a full-time job, or even if you're willing to spare time for it, you still want to get something out of it. So we will be in that discussing about, like, from my experience, all the things I have done, I am doing, things that you can do. So we will brainstorm, and I'll also give several things that is possible that we can do, so that we will be able to make a living out of it. Because if we can't make a living, then it's hard to be a yoga teacher, and we'll have to quit that and go back to some job. We don't want to do that, because you are taking this job as a service, as a responsibility too, but you want to serve, you want to pass this wisdom, so it should be able to sustain you so that you can continue sharing the wisdom. So that is what we will go through in that on Friday. And so on Saturday is when we will be doing our final exams. So we'll have mini teaching sessions, like everybody will teach for like 20 minutes, and then others, of course, will be they'll be the students, the other people, so you are teaching them, and they also can give their feedback, sharing. And then after lunch we'll also work little bit on, everyone, like doing the 5 chants we have learned, or like saying few of the asana names, making sure that, it's not the goal to be perfect on the final day, because graduation to me, it's just the beginning. We're like, okay, we are kind of, now we have the tools. It's not the end. It's not like, oh, I am now perfect or anything. Okay, I'm all now set to do a good beginning. That is how we should view that. So it is not like, oh, is this person perfect kind of thing, but does she have the necessary tools to go ahead and still work on their own, and make it work for them, and like not totally get everything wrong. So that is all that we'll be doing on that day, and presentation on a topic, because we'll be discussing many topics, like many of the disciplines, the codes, the yama, the niyama. So you can pick anything that probably you have begun to apply, or something that you would want to share, and you're just sharing it with others. So it's like nothing to be very scared of the exam, but you can all take it as a practice for you. And of course, other than that, I'll also require that you do 3 1-hour teaching sessions outside, and bring like a feedback from them, or like photos, and like submit like what was it for you to teach, or what were your difficulties, and we can discuss it. Like, so everybody who does that outside, it can be discussed here, like, so that it can help us, like what should I have done, or how should I do it differently. So that is something other than this will also be, you will be just doing it outside. And then after the exams, we'll just have our final sharing feedback, and that Sunday will be our final graduation celebration. So that's when you are welcome to bring your friends, family, kids, everyone. So we'll we'll find out what nice program we can do for the day. But so this is basically everything about our syllabus.